Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new, welcome to the channel. So in today's video we're cracking back on with the BMW E30. So we're going to be tearing down all the damaged parts, see if there's any hidden damage hiding behind them. Also, if you can see in the background, the Range Rover Evoque has been dropped off this morning. Today is Saturday. We had a phone call this morning from the body shop that the Evoque is now finished, so I've got my recovery guy to pick it up for me. If we'd known it was going to be done today, we would be filming the Evoque, but that'll be a video for next week. So let's get cracking on tearing this down. So what we're going to do first, we're going to start off by removing the bonnet, because obviously I think if you watched the first video on this, on these E30s, the bonnet does go forward instead of upwards. So once we've got that off, because obviously we're going to be removing a lot of the parts in that front area, it just gives us more access. So we'll get that bonnet off now. So to remove a bonnet on one of these E30s, nice and simple. So the bonnet hinge here, you've got 3 10mm bolts either side. So 6 bolts to remove and it will come off. So now the bonnet's off, we're going to remove the front main grille. To remove these, got to undo these clips on the top. They just pull off. And then there's a screw in this corner. And a screw towards the kidney grille. Obviously you would have these either side, but as you can see, this side, that's where the screw is. Obviously it's been ripped out on the accident. So now the main grills are off, get their broken headlight out. Probably the easiest headlight that we've had to remove. As the clips are all broke, just pull straight out. So to remove a bumper on these, you've got 2 bolts. So one here and one that side. They're an M10. I couldn't believe how heavy duty bolt is for a bumper. And then these just slide off this bumper bracket here. So the last part we need to remove today to check all the damage out is the lower valance. So we'll get that removed, then we can all look what the hidden damage is. So that's everything we need to remove to see the hidden damage on that driver's corner. Obviously that was the impact side. And if you didn't watch the first episode of the E30, I did state that when me and Pete bid on cars, we don't always go by, for example, if it's a category N, non-structural, or category S, structural damage. As in the past, we've had category N car, front end damage, take the whole front end off, chassis legs are bent over, which that should be a category S. And we've had the same with category S car, for example, front end damage, strip it, no chassis leg damage, no structural damage, that should be a category N. But you can't change that. Once it's got a category N or a category S, that's it for life. So let's get to what everyone's been waiting for, the hidden damage on this BMW E30. So here is the hidden damage. So if you see here, this is where the bumper bolts up to underneath. The bolt goes just under there, and your toe eye screws into here, which is on the end of the chassis leg. So you can see all this crumpled area. That is the end of the chassis leg. So I would assume that's about 1 inch it's been pushed back. There is a few chafe wires, so we'll have to go through all the wiring harness on the front, cut out whatever's damaged and replace with new. And obviously you've got the, well, back in the day you'd class this as a slam panel. The newer generation would call it the front panel. That kink here, there is one this side how it is made, but it is slightly more bigger on this side because that seems to be sitting further forward. And then on the driver's side, the inner wing, there's also some damage in this area here. So as you just seen, the end of the chassis leg has crumpled, but further back there is no visible kinks or any other damage. That's your strut tower, and that's the remaining part of the chassis leg that goes into the bulkhead. But there is a good thing about this. Obviously we're not, it's gonna 100% gonna need a pull, but we're not just gonna be pulling it and straightening and repairing this. Pete has just managed to get a whole front cut off a car for a bargain price. We are having one little issue, is the front lower valance. So this does have air conditioning, and for example some parts you can still get from BMW. They do sell a lower valance, but not for a car with aircon. So we're having problems finding one of these at the minute. So if you know of any, we are looking in UK and Europe. If you know of any, let us know in the comments. I do need to make an Instagram account for the channel, which I'll probably do very shortly. So we've got one last video to make on the Range Rover Evoque. As you've seen this morning, it was dropped back off to us. So if you're from the UK, you'll totally agree with me. Since the COVID pandemic, second-hand car prices have skyrocketed. It's not just affected non-category second-hand cars, it's also affected category cars and the salvage auctions where we buy our cars from. So I'll give you an example. Me and Pete, as this car's just about finished, we've been bidding on a few cars, so we've got one for when, you know, we need another car on the channel for when that's done. So it was a 2015 Audi A6 all-road, so it's a 3-litre TDI Quattro with 61,000 miles. So that car would retail, if it was a non-category car, for about 15 to 18,000. 18,000 is a, you know, an car for sale at Audi, so it'd be an Audi approved car. So I'm gonna post some pictures now and the video what this car sold for. So that sold for £13,175. So you've got probably around about £1,000 in fees to add on top of that. So that's what, nearly 14,200. Then delivery, so say, I don't know, might be £200. So that's nearly 14.5. And like I said, you can pick these up for about 15 grand as a non-category. So just to buy the car without even repairing it, it's nearly the same price as buying one without a category. So there's no point in doing that at all. So we're constantly bidding on cars, holding out. You know, they're always getting uploaded onto Copart or other salvage auctions, but you can see where we're coming from. So thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, if you can click that thumbs up button, and if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get a notification when we put a new upload. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.